Hello everyone, my name is Varun Matolia and here we are starting with another module in this lecture series of transportation engineering. In our last module, we were studying about geometrical features or geometrical designs. In geometrical design, we saw various parameters like vehicular characteristics, road user characteristic, various parameters which are visible on geometry or in between the horizontal and vertical plane in the geometry. We talked about various side distances, including stopping side distance and overtaking side distance. Then we use these side distances in vertical and horizontal alignments. In horizontal alignment, we talked about super elevation and transition curves. And in vertical alignment, we were talking about gradients and the combination of gradient which will form curves like summit and valley curves. Now in this module, we are going to learn about the relationship between the traffic or traffic flow. What kind of relationship exists, how we can study these relationships, and how these relationships can be controlled. For example, if we are moving on a road and we are facing congestion condition, congestion means jam. There are a lot of vehicles, the moving speed is very less. It is not a very favorable condition. So in order to improve this condition, we should know what are the parameters which we should have or we should focus on. Then how can we relate those parameters from the condition itself? Then how we can control those parameters to improve that condition? We can provide intersections which are grade separated. Intersections which are grade separated will allow a very smooth traffic flow. So there are various problems and various solutions which we can find for those problems. But before that, let us get into the content and we'll learn about what we are going to see in this module. First, we will talk about the traffic flow parameters. We'll know different parameters which we need to identify the quality and quantity of the traffic. Then we'll understand about the relationship between those traffic parameters, how those parameters are related to each other, and how their relation affects our traffic condition. Then we will learn about measurement of these traffic parameters on road for a given particular condition in traffic studies. Then how to control those parameters, how we can control the given parameters to improve the level of service of a given stretch of road. So this is what we are going to study throughout in this module. In traffic engineering, the word traffic defines the movement of vehicle or the pedestrian on the road along a route. Traffic means there are number of vehicles, number of pedestrians which are moving in a direction. Route is a particular direction, and then there exists a relationship between them. There is interaction between them in a unique way. The relationship between the different vehicle in a route and in a very unique way is known as traffic stream. Traffic, it is the movement of vehicles, and traffic stream is movement of vehicle with their relationship or with the interaction with each other. And studying this relationship, analyzing this relationship, and designing a facility to provide a better condition for road or condition of traffic movement is known as traffic engineering. Traffic engineering can be defined as, or it deals with the analysis of the behavior of the traffic, behavior of the vehicle moving on a particular stretch, and to design the facility in order to provide smooth, safe, and economical traffic operations. So there are two features of traffic engineering, or you can call it two steps of traffic engineering. First analyzing, then designing, then implementation. First analyzing. what the problem is, then finding out the solution by improving the design or given by giving a different design. So in traffic stream, we have to study some parameters which will tell us about the relationship or interaction between your vehicle in the traffic. These parameters we are going to study. Speed, you know speed. Speed is a very important parameter. Higher the speed, we consider the road stretch to be in good condition or traffic to be in light condition or no congestion kind of situation is there if speed is very good. So speed can tell us about the quality of the traffic flow. Then comes the traffic volume or traffic flow and traffic density. These both parameters talk about quantity. Quantity means number of vehicles. Both of these parameters, traffic volume and traffic density, defines the total number of vehicle. If we talk about traffic volume, it defines the total number of vehicle passing through a particular stretch in a given time. So traffic volume defines the number of vehicles with respect to a given time, while density defines the total number of vehicle moving on a particular stretch with respect to the total distance of that stretch, of that given stretch. So both of these parameters tells us about the quantity of the vehicle in the traffic flow. These three parameters are known or are defined as macro parameters. Macro parameters. Macro means larger. These three parameters give us a larger image. Larger image means they consider the traffic as a whole. They consider traffic as a whole. पूरे ट्रैफिक को कंसिडर करता है, एक या दो व्हीकल्स को कंसिडर नहीं करता. So these three parameters relate or interact or give the relationship between the interaction of a number of vehicles. So this is a macro parameter, or these are the macro parameters. While your headway or headways is actually the separation between the vehicle. So this parameter is defined between two vehicles. It is not a traffic dependent parameter. The headway depends on the traffic or number of traffic because there are interrelationship between all these parameters. But in actual, this relationship or this parameter is given by looking into very specific kind of arrangement, like between two vehicles. So this separation is defined as a micro parameter. Or we can say vehicle specific. We'll talk about this parameters in coming lectures one by one. So talking about speed first, speed can be defined as the distance covered in particular time. Speed is defined as the motion or the movement done by the vehicle. This is the D, the distance covered by the vehicle in a particular time t. So this is speed. If speed is more, the quality of road is better. If speed is less, it is not about the road, it is about the traffic. If speed is less, the quality of traffic is comparatively not good. Imagine yourself stuck in a jam. If you are in jam condition, imagine what will be your speed. your speed will be very low, or either most of the time your speed will be stagnant. आप रुके हुए होंगे. And on the another hand, you can imagine yourself running on a highway without much traffic around. Your speed will be very good. So this will define the type of traffic condition which you have, and this will tell you about the quality of the traffic condition. ट्रैफिक कंडीशन कैसी है हम स्पीड को देख के बता सकते हैं. अगर हमें एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक जाने के लिए जाते समय 4 घंटा लगा और आते समय हमें 10 घंटे लगे, तो वी विल से while returning back the traffic condition was not good because it took 10 hours for the same stretch. We took 4 hours initially when we were moving forward. We took 4 hours, and when we were coming back we took 10 hours. So this is a qualitative comparison of that particular stretch. Speed can be defined in these various types. First one is spot speed. Spot speed can also be defined as instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed. The word instant tells us about a particular point of time, and spot tells us about a particular point on road. For example, if you are moving on this road stretch, into your vehicle with a velocity v, but this velocity v is given on your speedometer. There is a milestone. When you just cross the milestone and at this point you check your speed, you will quote this speed as spot speed for this particular milestone. Means whenever you are at a particular spot and your speed is measured, that speed is known as spot speed. Your spot speed is instantaneous in terms of time and exact in terms of a location. You remember, whenever traffic police officers gets your challan done for high speeding, they are using the same spot speed parameters. They are measuring your speed for a particular time. Once their radar catches you with a higher speed, they'll get you in. So spot speed is the speed at a particular instant, a particular time. Next is running speed. Running means whenever you are traveling from station A, station B, let us say, you're traveling from station A to station B. From station A, you traveled x1 distance and you took a break. The initial x1 distance was traveled in t1 time, and you took a break of t2 minutes, and then again you started towards B and traveled to a distance of x2. You took t3 time between your first stoppage to your next stoppage, and then you took a break of t4 minutes, and the final distance from your second stoppage you traveled to a distance of x3 and took t5 minutes. So the running speed is defined as the distance traveled divided by total running time. Total running time. So here you can see you were stagnant for time t2 and t4. So this time duration will not be counted in your running speed. Your time which will be included in your running speed is only the running time. अगर आप कहीं पे रुक गए तो that will be count in your journey speed but not in your running speed. So your running speed can also be defined as the total distance, let us call it d. The running speed can also be defined as the total distance d divided by total time taken t minus the time which you used for taking breaks. This is your running speed. The journey speed is the total. This includes the total time taken for the journey. If you are traveling from A to B, you started at 4 p.m. from A and reaches 6 p.m. at B, then your distance D will be divided by 2 hours, 4 to 6 p.m. irrespective of the time you traveled or you were running or you were taking any break. So the journey speed will be total distance x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4 plus t5, or you can say that it is total distance d divided by total time taken t. So the running speed and journey speed, you know the relationship between running speed and journey speed. The total time, the denominator of the journey speed, and if you compare the running time, the denominator of the running speed, you can easily find out the denominator of the running speed is less than the running speed ought to be a more value. So the relationship between running speed and journey speed will be that running speed is always higher or equivalent to your journey speed. The condition when your running speed is equivalent to the journey speed, when you don't take any break. If there is no T2, no T4, then the equation for journey speed and the running speed is same. So this is how you can calculate the running speed and the journey speed. The next speed calculation is for time mean speed and space mean speed. Let's discuss these two parameters separately. Time mean speed is the average of spot speed for a number of vehicles for a given point or location in a given period of time. For example, this is a road stretch. This is a particular point you consider in order to measure the spot speed of the vehicles. This is the vehicle 1 coming here. As it reaches the spot, you measure its speed as u1. Then the second vehicle comes, you measure its speeds as u2. For third vehicle, you measure the speed as u3, and so on to un till you consider your time frame. Let us say for 1 hour, you are taking the speeds of various vehicles. So the time mean speed can be defined as the average. So it is a simple average. Time mean speed, that is called as u bar small t, is equals to u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus and so on to u4 un divided by total number of vehicles. So this is your time mean speed. This can be written as 1 by n summation I equals 0 where we are writing as ui, and I should be equals to n, total number of vehicles. So this is your time mean speed. Let us take an example. If one of the vehicle is having speed of 20 kmph, another vehicle have 30 kmph, and another vehicle have 40 kmph. You are asked to calculate the time mean speed. आपको time mean speed निकालना है. बहुत सिंपल है टाइम मीन स्पीड का फॉर्मूला. आपको सिर्फ इन तीनों स्पीड्स का एवरेज निकालना है. So you can write it as 1 by n is equals to 1 by 3 into u1, that is 20, plus u2 30, plus u3 40 kilometers per hour. So the average will be 30 kmph. But let's say there are a group of vehicles. Can we take another example? There are 4 vehicles which are running with a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. 5 vehicles which are running at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, and 3 vehicles which are running at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So how can we calculate the time mean speed? Time mean speed can be 4 cross 40 plus 5 cross 20 plus 3 cross 50 divided by 4 plus 5 plus 3. So it can be calculated as 34.167 kmph. So we can convert our formula in order to have this kind of situation. So ut can be defined as average of 1 by n summation I equal to 0 qi into ui. So this is the formula. Qi is number of vehicles and ui is the speed of that particular vehicle or particular group of vehicles. So this is the time mean speed. It is the mean for a particular time. That's why it is known as time mean speed. The next definition is space mean speed. As we define time mean speed, it is the average of the speed of vehicles for a particular time. Space mean speed is also the same thing. It is the average of vehicles for a particular stretch. So it can be defined as it is the average speed of vehicle over certain length of road for any time. Let us say this is the road. We want to find space mean speed for this space or the road stretch of d length. Your speed for space mean speed can be written as distance d divided by average time taken by the vehicle. Let us say one vehicle is taking t1 time, another vehicle is taking t2 time to travel to this distance, t3 time, t4 time. So we can average out this time and write the space mean speed as the mean of speeds for a particular distance. So speed can be converted into time for a particular distance, and it can be written as average of time. Also, to find out the average time, we can again change this formula as it is 1 by n t1 plus t2 plus t3 and so on to tn. Again modify this formula. 1 by n, it is d by u1 plus d by u2 plus d by u3. I think you can understand where I'm getting. This is the time. Time is distance upon velocity. So we are having velocity of different vehicle. How can we make the average to find out the space mean speed? This is how we can use the speeds calculate the space mean speed. So you can bring all the d's out and you can write the formula as 1 upon n summation of I equal to 0 1 by ui, or this can be written as n, this is total number of vehicles, upon summation of I equal to 0 ui till n. So you can write your formula in terms of this representation. Calculate for the same values, one vehicle for 20 kilometers per hour, second vehicle for 30 kilometers per hour, and third vehicle for 40 kilometers per hour. Let's calculate US for first condition. Space mean speed is equals to n, value is 3, summation, this is 1 by, this is not, this is 1 by, sorry, this is 1 by, this is 1 upon 20 plus 1 upon 30 plus 1 upon 40. This can be written as, let's calculate the value. The value is coming out to be 27.77 kilometers per hour. If you see the value and compare it with the time mean speed, this was 30 kilometer per hour for the particular example. You can say that the value of space mean speed is less. Let us take another example which we use for time mean speed. We have 4 vehicles with 40 kilometers per hour, 5 vehicles with 20 kilometers per hour, and 3 vehicles with 50 kilometers per hour. So how can we represent these values? US bar will be total number of vehicles are 12, or I can write it as 4 plus 5 plus 3, 4 plus 5 plus 3 divided by 4 number of vehicles having speed equals to 40 kilometer per hour. So 40 kilometer per hour plus 5 number of vehicles with a speed of 20 kilometer per hour and 3 vehicles with a speed of 50 kilometer per hour. Let's calculate this value. The value is coming out to be 29.26 kmph. So the value, if it is compared with the value of the same example for time mean speed, the value of time mean speed was 34.167 kilometers per hour, and the value for space mean speed for the same example is 29.26 kilometer per hour. So this tells us about, or both the examples have same consideration, that the value of space mean speed is less than or equal to time mean speed. This is a very, very important conclusion which we have made right now. The value of time mean speed is always more than the value of space mean speed. Because you can see here, the reason is it is a harmonic mean. And because of harmonic mean, we know harmonic mean is always less than arithmetic mean. So this is in the denominator. So we can say that the space mean speed is always less than time mean speed, unless the speed of all the vehicles is same. If speed of all the vehicles is same, I want you to calculate time mean speed and space mean speed. Take any example. You can take second example and take the speed as equal and calculate whether these values are same or not. For the second example, we can modify our relation. U bar s is equals to n. N is summation of all the vehicles, summation of qi to n, qi by ui. This q is the total number of vehicle for a particular speed. The relation can be converted as per our requirements. So these are space mean speeds and time mean speed. Do we have any relationship between these two, or we can change it one speed to another or vice versa? If we see sigma t is, let us say, standard deviation for time mean speed, ut bar is your time mean speed, sigma s is equals to your standard deviation for space mean speed, and u bar s is your space mean speed. I want to calculate time mean speed from space mean speed. Look, this is first relationship. I want to calculate time mean speed from space mean speed. So this is here space mean speed. Tell me one thing. Should I need to add something to this value of space mean speed or subtract? Definitely we need to add something. Why? Because space mean speed is always less than time mean speed. In order to get the value of time mean speed from the space mean speed, we have to increase it. So I should add something, and I can write it as standard deviation of space mean speed divided by mean of space mean speed. That is itself space mean speed. So this relation can be used to calculate time mean speed from space mean speed. Second relation, I want to calculate space mean speed from time mean speed. This time mean speed. So I will subtract some value in order to reach the value of space mean speed from the time mean speed value. This is average of mean of. These two equations are very, very, very important. The people making questions for GATE examination keep on looking these type of formulas in order to get you stuck and keep you thinking and get your time waste. For very small formula, you'll take a lot of time in order to think about the mathematics behind it. So you can remember this formula and get your answer or calculation done as soon as possible. This is a very important formula. So this is all about speed. We were talking about speed. Speed is distance covered in a particular time. It is a quality measurement or quality measurement parameter. We talked about spot mean speed, that is an instantaneous speed. The speed calculated or measured at a particular point on the road or a particular instant is known as instantaneous speed. Then we talked about running speed. Whenever we calculate the speed using only the running time, then we say this is running speed. Next one was journey speed, the total time taken for the journey. If we divide the distance from the total time, then the time will give us the journey speed. And then these two important calculations, time mean speed and space mean speed. So you should remember the values and the definitions of space mean and time mean speed. So next important topic we are talking about is traffic flow. If we say this is a section of road and we focus on this particular section, this is a stretch of road and we are focusing on this particular section. So the total number of vehicles passing through this section for a time, for unit time t1, is known as traffic volume. If I say, if I'm studying this location for 1 hour, let us say for 1 hour, I'm counting the vehicles passing through this stretch. I saw first vehicle going, then second vehicle, third, fourth, fifth, and number of vehicle. Let's say 40 vehicles I have seen passing through this stretch in a single hour duration. So the traffic flow value will be 40 vehicle per hour. So that is why we can define traffic flow as total number of vehicle passing from a section of road for a given time. Traffic volume is same as traffic flow. These two are same. We can call it traffic flow or traffic volume. So we will talk about traffic volume and we will discuss the relationship with density and other parameters. We will discuss the relationship of traffic volume with speed. So we will keep on using this traffic volume term. So don't get confused that traffic volume or traffic flow, if they are different or the same, these are the same values. It is defined by this small q. Traffic volume is denoted by small q. The representation of traffic flow data is in various terms. We can represent traffic flow data in terms of AADT. AADT is average annual daily traffic. What is average annual daily traffic? Let us say I am doing or I am counting the traffic for 24 hours for 365 days, then this is known as annual traffic. This is the daily count of your annual traffic. If I divide this annual traffic total, this is total annual traffic, total annual traffic with the total number of days in a year, then I'll get AADT. AADT का मतलब है पूरे साल भर में टोटल कितने नंबर ऑफ व्हीकल्स निकले उनका एवरेज। अगर हम व्हीकल काउंट की बात करें तो हम 24 आवर्स का व्हीकल काउंट लें और 365 डेज तक लें। हमने पहले दिन लिया 24 आवर्स का, फिर नेक्स्ट डे हमने 24 आवर्स का लिया, फिर थर्ड डे हमने 24 आवर्स का लिया। इसी तरह से हमने पूरे 365 दिन, पूरे 24-24 घंटे का एवरेज लिया। इट इज द टोटल ट्रैफिक वी हैव for the complete year. If we divide it with 365, because we have 365 days in a year, तो हमें दिन का एवरेज मिल जाएगा। मतलब रोज जो हमने लिया, अगर हम उसका एवरेज देखें तो फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर डे द एवरेज वैल्यू इज दिस, और फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर ईयर फॉर डेली एवरेज वैल्यू इज AADT. Next representation is AAWT. This is only the weekday traffic. Average annual weekday traffic. This is equals to the total number of traffic count for the weekdays only. We consider Saturday and Sundays as our weekends. So we have 52 weekends, 52 Sundays, or 52 Saturdays. So we can subtract 104 days out of 365. So we can on an average write it as 260 days, 260 days of working duration or weekdays. So this is your total weekday traffic for a year. Total annual weekday traffic. If you want to average out this value, you can divide it by total number of weekdays. So you can divide this value of total annual weekday traffic by 60. So this will be your AAWT. Next representation is for any duration of time, that is ADT, average daily traffic. Average daily traffic. It is same as AADT, but the difference is it can be for any duration. Like AADT was specifically for annual average. This can be, the ADT value can be for a month, can be for a season, can be for a week, it can be anything. So if you calculate ADT for a month, average daily traffic for a month, you will calculate 24 hours traffic for 30 days and average out this traffic for a month. So this will be AADT. ADT can be for a week, this is 24 hours traffic for a week. It is your total weekly traffic. You have to divide it by total number of days in a week, then you will get ADT for a week. This is how you can calculate the average value of traffic or average value of daily traffic for any duration. Similarly, the value of ADT, we have another value AWT. This is for weekday traffic. It is average weekday traffic, and it is same for a month or a week. You will calculate the average weekly traffic for a month. You will calculate the average number of vehicle running for weekdays only. This is 24-hour traffic for 22 days in a month. So to average out, you'll divide it by 22 days. Don't get confused with, sir, we are taking 24, then multiplying it by 24. We are not multiplying it by 24. We are adding up 24 days traffic for 22 days. Means for first day, let us say I found 200 vehicles running on that stretch. For second day, I found 250 vehicles. For third day, I found 225 vehicles. So I am adding up these vehicles for 25 days, 22 days, or 22 weekdays, and then I'm dividing this value with 22. Then I will find the value, whatever value I'm getting. This value will be AWT, average weekly traffic for a weekday traffic for a month. Why these representations are important? Look, your traffic volume changes time to time. There are various parameters which affects your traffic volume. If it is a weekday, it will be high on your peak durations. You must have seen from morning 8:30 to 10:30, the traffic volume is very high because it is the office hours. From evening 5:30 to 6:30, the traffic volume is very high because it is due to the particular reason that the people are going to office during that period. If you find the recreational days, if you find the holidays, the weekly traffic on a particular stretch going to a recreational activity is very high. If it is a Sunday and you are going to a mall, so there will be a lot of traffic on the way to the mall. If it is a festival and you are going to market, you will find that for a particular festival, the market will be having a lot of traffic. So there are a lot of variation which can be seen with various parameters in traffic volume. So we'll stop here. In next class, we'll talk about another representation of traffic volume, that is your trend chart or variation charts. Then we'll talk about traffic density, and we'll see the relationship between traffic flow and traffic density, including your traffic speed. So till then, thank you so much.